Hi, this is Rick Harsh, author and chief editor of Corona Samizdat. Um, I, I think most of us who follow sports and writing are aware that there's a sort of curse that comes along with the bobblehead day. And Wednesday, last Wednesday was the Eddie Vegas Rick Harsh bobblehead day. Anybody who was reading the book on that day was sent a Rick Harsh bobblehead. And of course, something had to go wrong. Something had to fuck up my bobblehead day, and it came in the form of a goddamn critical comment about my writing. It was from a very old. Back when I used to do these fake what do you call it? Master classes. Master classes now has become part of the idiom. Everybody in all subjects, says, "Yeah, he gave him a master class there." That kind of thing. I heard a political commentator who's actually pretty good use it the other day, and I said, which is not saying anything, but it's saying something. As writers, we can say different things, but not on Bobblehead Day. So I was criticizing the Iowa Writers Workshop, Frank Conroy, and here's what Steve Eastwoofer, spelled the way it sounds, if you can tolerate the sound, Eastwoofer, said, well, you can't write. Me. I read an excerpt of one of your books, and it was a quagmire of unpoetic, badly written nonsense. Well, that hurts. But Frank Conroy was and remains a master. So you had an insane opportunity to develop under his wing and blew it. Streak writing. I talked about how I was a streak writer and how Frank Conroy told me I wasn't because nobody is, although he does go on to talk about Gabriel Garcia Marquez writing as a streak writer, streak writing 100 Years of Solitude. He loves to tell that story, and he loves to say things to his students that imply that they could never be great writers. I don't know what the point of the program is if they don't try to find the best writers they can and get the best out of them, give them the best advice. But so there's the point. But so you can't write. Well, you can't write. I read an excerpt of one of your books, and it was a quagmire of unpoetic, badly written nonsense. But Frank Conroy was and remains a master, so you had an insane opportunity to develop under his wing and blew it. Streak writing might have its place in literary history, but it's extremely limited. Bukowski's Post Office took 3 weeks to write, but that book had been building inside him for decades, and he had honed his craft through poetry and short stories for an equal measure of time. When he sat down to write that thing, he was a loaded gun. When Kerouac's work fades with time, it appeals to a young mind and becomes of little to no interest to a mature reader. The reason? Lack of discipline. His streak writing was fueled by amphetamine, and his books become guided by that frame of mind. 99% of all genuine literature was written with the precepts Frank employed and advocated, and you would have been wise to adopt them. Frank didn't injure a single writing career. I know of several that he did. If you had actual talent as a writer, you would have long recognized your delusion and either embraced his teaching or simply given up for lack of talent. Literature requires a balance of certain gifts, none of which you seem to have. Frank had them all. Now, I love reading that because that's the kind of shit that you hear from students in writers' workshops. There's a lot of pretense involved, a lot of young writers like this, and so on, and Bukowski. I guess he respects Bukowski, And he sat down. He was a loaded gun. I guess most streak riders can't be loaded guns. There's another person who supports Conrad here, and that I guess I don't recall this, but it's from a year ago. And this one is Kelman727, and he writes, "Inspiration is for amateurs." That's separate from the next paragraph, and I'm not sure if he's joking or what, but he said, "Meaning, sense, and clarity." That's Frank Conroy's mantra: meaning, sense, and clarity. And I mock it because I'm not sure how meaning and sense differ. Meaning, sense, and clarity is straightforward to grasp. Other terms fold into them. Make sure what you're saying means what it's supposed to. Make sure you've made it clear. That's all he wrote. And that, I think, is how that's a nice, respectful way to disagree with someone, rather than attack. But I have to say, the only reason that it hurts me, the other one, is that it came on Bobblehead Day. Otherwise, I don't mind. I mean, everybody gets criticized. I've been really pleased with the response to most of or all of my novels in recent years. There are always some nasty buggers who write nasty things, but there have been fewer and fewer. And really only one bad faith review of Eddie Vegas. And I've gone on about that here. Well, actually 2 or 3. One was a guy who broke a promise about how he was going to handle my interview, and he said, "If there's anything you definitely want in there, what will it be?" And I told him, and that was the one thing that was removed. The other was a personal attack from an old enemy, and but primarily, I've been really pleased, and there's even been some responses have been so pleasing that even if they were wrong, and I got nothing but shit besides them, I would feel good. One person said this, and but on my bobblehead day, that's what really makes me suffer. So I just wanted to check in and let you know that I'm okay, but Bobblehead Day, like with a lot of people, it was a curse. It was a bad idea. I don't know if a lot of writers have a Bobblehead Day. I think maybe next year's, the 3rd anniversary of America and the Cult of the Cactus Boots, will have a Jeff and Phil Bobblehead Day. I haven't talked to them about it, but we've got nearly a year to work it out. So why not Bobblehead Day for them? Mine went badly. That doesn't mean yours will or theirs will. So anybody who supports the bobblehead idea, I would like to. I'll lend any support I can, and I urge you to do it. Bobblehead days for writers. Good idea. Gone bad once, but what the fuck? It's okay. It's okay. I read an excerpt of one of your books, and I read an excerpt of one of your books. Well, goddamn, that hurts. Okay. Let's square it up here. See you soon.